Good morning, everyone, from Lisbon, Portugal. It's 9/11/2021, 20 years later, I thought I would do a little tribute uh, to the 20-year anniversary of, I guess, one of those days in life that, I personally, but I'm sure anyone that was of 4 years or more at the time remembers it like it was yesterday, or I can tap into that moment where I started to realize what was going on. I had never been to New York before. I probably traveled on a flight twice a year back home from California to Dallas to see my family. And I was with my boyfriend at the time. We had woken up to early to a call from his girlfriend back in New York, who was living with her boyfriend at the time. And they started sending us pictures. I can't remember, I think it was just when pictures were starting to be able to transfer on over the phone. And her partner was taking pictures from their rooftop in Manhattan of what was going on. And they said, please, or actually before they did that, they said, turn on the news and take a look. The World Trade Center just got hit by a plane. And I didn't even know what the World Trade Center was, since I didn't know the geography of New York. But, as the day unfolded and another plane hit, and then there was an indication that it was probably a terrorist attack. And then the Pentagon and Pennsylvania the Pennsylvania flight went down, and everything changed because even though I was in West Hollywood in Los Angeles, California, USA, nobody knew what was going on. And so we were on attack alert because just being in a larger city, but I think it was probably universal where everyone was wondering if their home was going to be hit next, especially after the one went down in Pennsylvania, because it was like, okay, if it's in Pennsylvania, then it could be anywhere. Not knowing that the passengers helped take the flight down and saved a lot of lives. So I just wanted to and weirdly enough, it's just, I just remember walking in the street and suddenly everybody was nice to each other. That doesn't always happen in LA, and doesn't always happen probably in most places in the US. And so 9/11 immediately put everyone on alert, myself included. I was afraid to I was pretty much afraid. Wouldn't even go to West Hollywood City Hall. I just remember looking at those buildings on fire and just visualizing the souls going up into the sky. And maybe that's me remembering pictures that kids were making at the time of what had happened. And I remember when George Bush Jr. was president and he was reading to a class, and I was not a George Bush Jr. fan at the time. Well, I'm not now, but I don't, for other reasons. He's not so bad. And I actually hear he's actually kind of a fun guy. But at the time, I was not a fan. And of course I was judging his reaction, but now I'm like, okay, what would I do if I were in his shoes? How would I react? And would I be as aggressive? And it's really hard to say what the right plan of action would have been. It was something that nothing had ever happened in my lifetime, and apparently not in history that was to that effect. Everything changed that day, and this is not about me. This is about the people mostly that lost their lives or that volunteered to help and went over to Afghanistan to serve the country and serve the country in other ways. And I can't imagine being one of the people that were there in New York or that lost, just with the rubble and the fear and the not knowing where to go and cops not knowing where to tell them to go and pretending like they knew how to handle the situation. So, I wanted to take a moment rather than focusing on me today. I'll do that later, but focusing on the 20-year anniversary of the day that changed everything. So yeah, my thoughts are with everyone in the U.S. I'm not there right now, but yeah, I hope everyone has a safe and loving day, and I will talk to you soon.